Hello and welcome to this brand new series of lectures. In this section, we will be developing a currency scanner app.
Canada, $20. China, 20 yuan. America, $20.
And big thanks to Patreon for this support. We have been able to create incredible content, explore new ideas, and take this channel to new heights. Your contribution have made a real difference in helping us and grow and improve.
Canada, $20.
Using this app, you will be able to detect banknotes, and on detection, it will speak out the banknote name. After developing this app, expanding is very easy. After completing this project, we can add multiple new country currencies without writing a single line of code. We will be just updating the image reference library and data containers with the new currency images. And these are the main highlights of this app project. The first one is creating a XR image reference library and detecting a banknotes. And second is detecting a specific banknote and showing its name. And third is scriptable object data containers to add banknotes dynamically. And fourth is adding more currency using separate data container for each country. And the last one is adding an audio capability to the project, so it will speak out the name of the currency on detection. We will be developing this project from scratch and step by step. I will be presenting you these series of lectures in an interactive way. We'll be highlighting the important parts in the lecture, and I will be explaining all the new things in the code. I have covered mostly basic in the first section, where we have developed the AR dot game. In this section, I will not be getting into too much in the basic detail. If you are new, I would highly recommend first you watch the section 1. And of each lecture, we will be testing the build and see the progress. We have developed the last project on Android platform using the Windows machine. And of course, for testing, we also switched our project to iOS. So we will be developing this project on iOS platform using the development machine MacBook Pro M1. So you can have a multiple flavors of development environments. Let's start this exciting augmented reality project. And I see you in the next lecture. In this lecture, we will be looking into basic setup of XR image library and detecting the banknotes. We will make sure all the AR required libraries are installed. Next, we will be preparing the scene for XR image library, and then we will add XR reference image library. Next, we will be downloading the digital copy of the banknote, or we will be scanning the real note for the library. In the last step, we will be adding all the scan note to the image library so that we can detect all the currencies we have added. And big thanks to Patreon for this support. We have been able to create incredible content, explore new ideas, and take this channel to new heights. Your contribution have made a real difference in helping us and grow and improve. Before starting this project, we will make sure all the required augmented reality libraries are installed. Open the package manager and check all the libraries are installed and updated. At this time, the latest version we have 4.1.7. And next we are looking for ARCore XR plugin and ARKit XR plugin, and the last one XR plugin management. And we will make sure these plugins are installed and activated in XR plugin management. To verify that, we will open the project setting and go to XR plugin management setting. As currently we are working on iOS platform, open the iOS tab and make sure ARKit is checked. If you are coming from section 1 and you have already developed AR dot project, and it's obvious these libraries are already installed. Now we are ready to start our currency scanner app project. We will make few folders to make it arranged and categorized. Create a new folder, currency scanner example. This will be the parent folder for the complete project. Create a new scene, currency scanner example, inside the scenes folder. Delete this default AR camera. Now we will be setting up our scene for the AR. Go to Game Object, XR, and click on AR Session. In AR Session object, we have AR Session and AR Input Manager script. To add AR Session origin, go to Game Object, XR, and click on AR Session origin. I have already explained all the working of these scripts in the first project. And these are the default scripts attached to AR Session origin and AR camera. We have AR camera, AR post driver, AR camera manager, and AR camera background. Now click on AR Session origin and click on Add Component and search for AR Tracked Image Manager. Click on this component or press Enter to attach this to the game object. AR Tracked Image Manager takes 3 parameters. Serialized library, maximum number of moving images, and tracked image prefab. Serialized library takes XR reference image library. This library will hold all the scanned images of the banknotes. Using second parameter, we can limit the moving images at the same time. The tracked image prefab will be used to show on top of the detected banknote images. And using this prefab, we will be showing the name of the currency. If we talk about overall working of AR Track Image Manager, AR Track Image Manager is a type of trackable manager and performs 2D image tracking. This Track Image Manager creates game objects for each detected images in the environment. Before an image can be detected, the manager must be instructed to look for the set of reference images compiled into reference image library. It only detects images in this library. Next, we will be creating a reference image library. Create a new folder, currency image library. To create a reference image library, click on this plus sign and look for XR. And click on reference image library to create it. Let's change the name to the currency image library. Assign this currency image library to serialized library parameter of AR Track Image Manager. Click on currency image library. Let's see what we have in it. Here we have a button to add an image. In our case, it will be an image of the banknote. To build up our library for the different countries, we can download these images from the internet. Or we can also scan the real notes and add those notes to the library. To scan the real note using iPhone, click on Import from iPhone and click on Scan Document. And make sure your iPhone is connected to the MacBook. It will automatically open the scanning app on your iPhone. Scan the banknote and try to make it fit in the screen. Once you have a good angle, take a shot and next you try to improve from the edges. This is the one way of scanning image. You can scan in any way you want. Once you satisfy with your scan image, click on Keep Scan. It will directly send the image to your MacBook. But it's in a PDF format. We will be converting this to image and then we will crop the image for resize. Click on Save to convert this PDF file into image format. Open the image and resize for more accurate image result. Open Tool and click on Crop and save the final image. We will be keeping an image file and I will be deleting .pdf file. Next, we will be updating XR reference image library with our currency notes. And for that, we will import scan images into Unity project. Let's create a new folder, name it as currency images and import all the images into this folder. In this lecture, we will only be working with 2 banknote images. Now it's time to update the image reference library. Drag and drop the image to the image library. The first banknote image we have added is a USA $100 bill. In the first parameter, we have the name of the image. We can also change the name of the image. In the second parameter is to specify the size. Here we need to provide the size of the detected image in meters. So banknote image size is roughly 0.156 meters and it will adjust the Y parameter according to the X. To add a new image, click on Add Image, assign the image, provide the name and specify the size. And this is the simple same process every time we need to add a new image. We can specify the size roughly, it doesn't have to be very accurate. The second image we have added is the currency of Pakistan. It's a 10 rupee note. So in this lecture we have used two banknotes of two different countries. The first image is US $100 and second image is Pakistani 10 rupee. Next we will create a cube prefab to show something on detection of the currency. Create a 3D cube and reset its position to the 0. Change the scale to 0.1 in X, Y, and Z. Once our app will detect the banknote, we will be showing this cube on top of the banknote image. Create a new folder for prefabs. Drag and drop this cube into prefab folder to make it a prefab. We will be assigning this cube prefab to AR Track Image Manager, and this cube will be generated at runtime on each banknote, so we can delete the prefab from the scene. Assign the cube prefab to the track image prefab property of AR Track Image Manager. So now if we summarize, we have attached AR Track Image Manager to AR Session Origin. We have created our XR image reference library, and we have updated the XR image reference library with the images. And we also have a prefab that will be showing on top of the banknotes. By completing these steps, we will be able to detect banknotes that we have added in XR reference image library. Let's create a build and test. As you can see, we are able to detect the banknotes, and we are also showing a cube on top of the banknote. It can detect a banknote either it's placed physically in the real world or it's on a screen. But at this point, we will only be able to detect only two banknotes that we have added in image library. But still, we have achieved all this without writing a single line of code. And I see you in the next lecture. In this lecture, we will detect and identify which banknote is detected. And these are the highlights of this lecture. First, we will replace the cube with the new prefab to show the currency name. And then we will create our first script, currencyscanner.cs, that will help us to identify the exact note. And big thanks to Patreon for this support. We have been able to create incredible content, explore new ideas, and take this channel to new heights. Your contribution have made a real difference in helping us and grow and improve. Open up the Unity, and before our project get expand, we will follow the proper naming scheme for our currency images. For this lecture, we will be adding two more currencies, Canada $50 and Pakistan 5000 rupee. Import the currency images and create a new folder for each country to hold the currency images. Create a new folder and name it as CAD. CAD is for Canada. Create another folder and name it as PAK. PAK is for Pakistan. Add this image into Canada folder and shift all the Pakistan currency into the PAK folder. Now create a folder for USA and shift the $100 into it. So now at this point we have 4 banknotes from 3 different countries. If your app is going to detect currencies for the 100 countries, it's better to arrange them from the start. In this app, we will be using a naming convention, 3 letters that will represent the country name, and then the number that will be the value of the currency. And at the start, we will be using a F if it's the front side of the note. For example, in our first entry, we have a front side of the US $100. So we have used F USA 100. That basically is saying front side of the US $100. And later on, we will be adding a data containers to handle country name and currency type. Currency type like dollar, rupiah, rupee, whatever the currency is. Let's add the new entry of Canada $50. Whenever we assign a new image, it takes the name from the image name. And of course, we can change it if we want to. So now all the new currency is in place. And if you remember, we are going to show the name of the currency on detection. And of course, for that, we need to replace the cube with the new prefab. And let's start the process of creating new prefab. Go to Game Object, UI, and Text Mesh Pro. When we will create this text, it will automatically create the canvas for it. So now you see we have a canvas and the text as the child of the canvas. As you know, we are going to use this text in 3D space. So we will modify this canvas for the 3D space. Let's change the view to see the size of the text. In my case, it's not getting the proper reference to the shader. We might need to refresh it. We can resolve this by just reselecting the same shader. Next, we will be creating an image for the background of the text. Using plus sign, go to UI and click on image. For the source image, I will be using UI Sprite. I will be changing the color to black and making the transparency almost at half. Reset the image transform component and text transform component. By resetting, it will be positioned at 0. I will be changing the name to text PG. And now let's try to rescale the text. For now, making the font size to the 20. And we'll be making the alignment at center. As a placeholder, this will be a note name. Now resizing the background image. You don't have to create your prefab exactly as mine, but I will highly recommend you should develop the project with me. Now let's create an empty game object and name it as currency info prefab. This game object will be the parent of our prefab. Reset the currency info prefab and drag and drop the canvas into currency info prefab. Now I'm dropping a cube prefab to compare the size of the currency info prefab. It looks we have a different scale and position. Let's rescale currency info prefab to 0.001 x, y, and z. Now change the canvas render mode to the world space and again reset the transform component. Change the canvas rotation to 90° from x-axis. We are changing this rotation to match the banknote angles. Delete the cube and drag and drop the currency info prefab game object to make it a prefab. Now delete this currency info as well from the scene. Replace our new prefab with the cube. We forgot to change the scale of the canvas, let's make it correct. I'm dropping a cube to compare it again. We have a canvas scale at 1000, we need to make it 1. Just double make sure and apply the changes. So finally our new prefab is ready and it's time to create a new script. Let's create a script folder and a new script, name it as currency scanner. Let's clean up this new script. We don't need these two methods for now. Add a text mesh pro. AR foundation. And AR subsystem. For the required components, we are adding AR tracked image manager. When you add a script which uses a required component to a game object, the required component will automatically be added to the game object. This is useful to avoid the setup errors. Create a AR tracked image manager and m underscore tracked image manager. We will basically request this component for the tracked images. Next, create a awake method. And awake method is called when the script instance is being loaded. In m underscore track image manager, we will get the AR track image manager. Now create a on enable method. In this method, we will subscribe to track image changed. For subscribing, we will write m underscore track image manager dot track image changed plus is equal to On track image changed. On track image change is our custom method. Next, create a on disable method. To unsubscribe the same method. We can unsubscribe using the minus equal sign. Now create our method on track image changed. For the parameter, search for AR track image changed events arguments and declaring it as event arguments. Now let's create a for each loop to traverse the detected images. For the holder, name it as tracked image, and for the collection we will pass event arguments or event args. Actually, event argument dot added. That's mean whenever the image is added in the system or detected in the system. We also have a different parameter of update or removed. So update is used whenever the image is updated. For this application requirement, we just need to play around with the dot added. Here we are writing a new method update info and passing it a track image. The track image will be a single entity. In our case, it will be a detected banknote. We are passing track image to the update info just to separate the updation into separate methods. In parameter, we are passing a track image. That's mean the data of a single image. Whenever an image will be detected, AR track manager will create a prefab we have assigned to it to show the name of the currency. In this line of code, we will try to read the text of the field. Track image.transform and get child at index 0. And inside that get the child at index 1. And get the text mesh pro component from that game object. And we will assign it to text mesh pro UGUI. Using track image dot tracking state, we can know in which tracking state the image is. Here we are saying if the tracking state node is equal to none, that means we are tracking. To get the name of the currency, we will type track image dot reference image dot name. It will give us the name we have defined in the XR reference image library. We can directly assign this name to the text field. But let's play around with the switch statement for a bit. Create a switch statement and pass a currency name and create a cases for the currency. As we have 4 images in the image reference library, so we will be creating 4 cases. And in the default case, we will write not in the library. This switch statement code is just a temporary code. Later on, we will remove this and make it fully dynamic using the scriptable objects and data containers. Take a look at the first case of the switch. If we are detecting a FUSA 100, we will be updating with the currency name. And if it doesn't match any, that means it's not in the library. And using this, we can do something different for a particular node. At this point, our script is completed. Let's take a look at overall script. And now it's time to attach the currency scanner to the AR session or region, where AR track image manager is already attached, so these both scripts will work together. And now it's time to create a build and test our progress. Here we can see our app is detecting the banknote and showing the name of the banknote. On detection, it's grabbing the name from the reference image library. The next lecture, we will be removing the switch statement for data using the data containers. Every time we add a new currency, we don't have to write a new code. The best way of learning is by actually developing the project. So keep developing the project with me. If you miss something, you can pause or rewatch the lectures. And I'll see you in the next. In this lecture, we will look into add new nodes using data containers and detect dynamically. And these are the highlights of this lecture. We will update a name prefab, create a new script currency scriptable object.cs, and then we will create a data container, and then we will update the data container. And in the last, we will update the image reference library. And big thanks to Patreon for this support. We have been able to create incredible content, explore new ideas, and take this channel to new heights. Your contribution have made a real difference in helping us and grow and improve. To update, drop the prefab to hierarchy view. Click on text and rename it to currency info text. Check the auto size and change the name to currency scanner node. Setting minimum auto size to 11. And now rescaling the background image. Apply the prefab changes and delete the prefab. Now let's create a new script, currency scriptable object. Remove the extra from the script. I am also removing these two methods. A scriptable object is a data container that you can use to save large amount of data independent of the class instance. This is useful if your project has a prefab that stores unchanging data in attached monobehavior scripts. Using this line of code, it will extend the Unity editor and create a new button in the menu. A new button will be created in Asset Create menu. So we are writing create asset menu, file is equal to currency data container, and menu name currency data container. That will be the button currency data container. Create asset menu attribute is to make it easy to create custom assets using your class. Let's create a list of currency data. It will be a type of currency scanner. Define system.serialized. This indicates structure or class can be a serialized. Now let's create a class currency data. Defining a currency value as a string type. This variable will hold the currency value like $50 or $100. To make it more structured, binding will be our separate class to hold the data. Binding will hold the country name and the currency type. And both are string type. And the most important part of this script, extend from the scriptable object. This script is completed at this point. You can take a look. As you can see, now we have a currency data container button inside asset menu. Let's create a new folder for currency data containers. We can also add currency data container from this plus sign. We will change the data container name to the short country name. Like in this case for Canada, I'm writing a CAD. Click on the data container to see how it looks like. So we have a currency data as a list. Adding a first element of the list. Click on element 0 and here we have a field of our data. First we have a currency value. In binding we have a country name and currency type. Currency value is the same as we have defined in the reference image library. As name suggests, in the country name we add the country name, in the currency we type dollar or rupee or rupiah. Let's create a new data container and we can create as many data containers as we want, and we will be creating each data container for each separate country. In our case we have two Pakistani banknotes, and in the PAK data container we will create two elements for the list. And here we will also follow the same pattern. Currency value will be PAK10, that's mean Pakistani 10 rupee, in the country name and the currency type. And in the second entry we will add the PAK 5000 rupee. So that is the simple process of adding the currency data. Whenever we want to add a new banknote, we will add an image to the XR reference image library and fill the data in the data container. And the currency value string should match with the image name of image library. Now we have created a separate data container for USA, and here we are adding our data for US $100. Let's take an example of US $100. Name of this image in reference image library should match with the data container's currency value. Here we have a PAK 5000 and in data container it's PAK 5000. At this point our data containers are ready and reference image library is also updated. And now we need to link these via script. And delete the cube, further we will not going to use it. We will be making changes in the currency scanner. So let's open the currency scanner script. As you know, we have a separate data container for each country. That means we need to hold all country data containers in a list. For that, we are creating a currency scriptable object list, and we are naming it as all country currency. Comment all the switch statements. At this point, we will be creating a few string variables to hold and prepare the data. First is currency country and a currency type. Remove the switch statement to clear the space. Create a is currency detected a boolean type. Now create a for each loop, and in the collection field pass all country currency. This is the list of all country currencies. We need to assign all the data containers to this list. We will traverse in the data containers to know if the detected node is available in the library. Changing the item to current currency country. That means we will check all the data containers one by one. We are creating a second for each loop to check a single country data container to check the data inside the current country. We can get the currency node by getting into .currency data. So this is the visual of currency data that we are trying to get. And at this point, we are inside the data. So now we are comparing is currency value is equal to currency name. This is the important line to understand. We are accessing currency value from the data container, and currency name is the actual detected image. Here we are comparing both, and we are saying if the US 100 is equal to US 100 that is detected in the real world. If they are matched, that means we have a data in the data container for the detected node. And now we will simply get the data from the data container. Like country name or currency type. We are getting data by typing currency node dot m underscore binding dot m underscore currency type or m underscore country name. And here we are making is currency detected is equal to true, and later on we will utilize it. Next we are creating a format string currency method. It will give us the proper string that we need to show. In the text field we will be showing a country name, currency value and currency type. And we will be passing the raw 3 parameters to this method. Let's suppose we have detected a front side of the US $100. And as you know, we need 3 separate strings, country name, value and type. As you know, we already have a separate country name and currency type. But we need to extract the value of the banknote. And to achieve that, we are writing if the currency name dot start with F. Remove first 4 letters from the string. Otherwise only 3 letters. By this we will get the number of the currency. We are using a string.format to arrange and give a space. This method will return the proper string that we will be showing in the prefab. Changing the text into currency info text. Here I am using a boolean if is the currency detected and call the format currency string method, and that will return the proper string we need. Otherwise display not in library. Make it currency info text.text. At this point our script is completed. And congratulations, you have implemented the hardest part of this app. It might be difficult to understand in the first time. You can pause it or rewatch it for more understanding. Now let's get back to Unity. At this point I have tested and we need to make our prefab a little bit more smaller. And now let's make few changes in our prefab. Apply the changes and remove our prefab from the hierarchy view. And now finally it's time to create a build and test it. As you can see, we are detecting banknotes using the data containers. And using these data containers, we can add hundreds of new banknotes dynamically without writing a single line of code. Keep learning and I see you in the next. In this lecture, we will be adding a new currency without writing a single line of code and expanding the data containers. And these are the highlights of this lecture. First, we will be adding a new banknote images and updating the data containers and creating a separate data container for each country. And big thanks to Patreon for this support. We have been able to create incredible content, explore new ideas, and take this channel to new heights. Your contribution have made a real difference in helping us and grow and improve. These are the current currency images we have. In this lecture, we will be adding a few more currencies. I will also attach all the currency images with the lectures. For the Canada, we have two more images, front and back side of the $20. Drag and drop these images to the Canada folder. And I have three new banknotes for the Pakistan. Drag and drop these images to the PAK folder. We got two more images for US. Drag and drop the images into USA folder. And we also have a complete new country, China. Drag and drop the folder into currency images. We have a data container for Canada, Pakistan, USA. And create a new data container for China. We can have the data container name China or CHN, whatever you like. In China data container, we will add an entry for the banknote. Currency value is CHN1, country name China, and third will be currency type. To add a new entry, we can click on the plus sign and it will copy the content from the last entry. We can change the currency value and keeping all the other parameters. And the same process for the third entry. And we also need to add all the images into XR reference image library. And now we will be adding a Canada $20 and specifying the size. Now adding the front side of the Canada $20. To complete a single note, we need to give the both sides of the note. One image for the front side and one image for the back side. Now adding a CHN1. Adding China 20. Adding PAK 20. And adding Pakistani 50 rupee. So this is the simple process we need to follow for each new note. So now for adding a new note, we don't need to write a new code. Now we just simply need to drag and drop the images and fill the data. After completing the reference image library data, we will be filling the data containers. We just need to make sure we have added the data on both sides, image library and on the data containers. Here we are completing the Pakistani currency data. Here we are adding a USA $20 data. And the last important set whenever we add a new data. If we have a new data container, we need to assign it to currency scanner. And we need to make sure all country currency have all the data containers. As you can see, we have added a bunch of new currency without writing a single line of code. And now let's create a build and test the progress. As you can see, we are able to detect all the banknotes we have added using data containers and image library. And we have added all these new currencies without extending the code base. Thank you, and I see you in the next lecture. After completing this lecture, I will speak out the name of the currency detected. And these are the highlights of this lecture. We will be adding audio clips into the project and create a new script, text to speech. And in the final step, we will link text to speech to the currency scanner.
Canada, $20.
And big thanks to Patreon for this support. We have been able to create incredible content, explore new ideas, and take this channel to new heights. Your contribution have made a real difference in helping us and grow and improve. Create a new folder, currency audio clips. And import all the audio clips into this folder. For now, I am adding a few extra audios. And this is how audio clip looks in Unity. Move all the audio clip file into the currency audio folder. Here we have all the audio inside currency audio clips. Play the audio, click on audio clip and click here. Creating a new game object, text to speech. Creating a new script, text to speech. Open up the script and remove the extra methods. Here we are creating a variable for audio source to play the audio clip. We will attach an audio source component to this game object and we will assign that to the audio player. Next we are creating an audio clip and list name is a country list. And same we will have a 4-note list. and last will be currency list. We will be creating an on enable and on disable method to subscribe and unsubscribe methods. And we are subscribing to on scan node text data. And our custom method is a make data. Unsubscribe to this method in on disable. Open a currency scanner and create a delegate scan node text data. It will take three parameters: country, node, and currency type. And we are creating an event on scan node text data. And we are calling it inside format currency string. Whenever a new node is detected, we are also triggering this method and passing the string data. As you can see, we are providing currency country, name, and type. Let's go back to text to speech. Create a method make text data. And it will receive three parameters that we were passing from currency scanner. And here we need to type static, public static event. Here we are preparing audio for currency country, currency name, and currency type. Creating a for each loop to search the country list. Creating a for each loop for note list. And we also need to add a condition to compare the country name. Let's say from the detected node we go to the country name China. It will search in the list, does the name China is available in the audio list. If the condition will match, it will assign the audio clip to the country audio. And same all the condition goes for note list. If this particular note is available in the audio list, it will assign to note audio. And all the same conditions for currency list. If all the above condition matches, we will be getting a 3 audio clips to play. So that's why we will be creating a coroutine. It will play the first audio, after a few moments it will play the second and then third. Using coroutine we will be adding a delay in the audio clips. We are passing 3 audio clips to the build speech. Country, cash, currency type. To create a coroutine we start with the IE numerator. Audio player dot clip is equal to country. We are taking the country clip and using audio player dot play, we are playing the country clip. After playing the country clip, we will add a delay. For delay, we will be using yield, return, new, wait for seconds, and we are passing audio player dot clip dot length. It will wait for the country clip length so that country clip can be played properly. After playing the complete country name, it will move to the next clip, that will be our cash. And after playing the cash, it will move to the currency type. We will be calling this build speech coroutine here. To call any coroutine, we need to write start coroutine and name of the coroutine build speech. And here we are passing the audio parameters. At this point, our text to speech script is completed. Let's jump back to Unity. Click on text to speech game object and assign the text to speech script to this game object. Click on add component and search for audio source. Now drag and drop the text to speech to the audio player. Audio source is used to play the audio clips. And we have these three lists: country, note, and currency. Search and select all the country names and assign it to the country list. Now select all the numbers and assign it to the note list. These are the currency values. And in the last list, assign all the currency types. Now let's create a build and test the project.
$20 America $20 Canada $20 Pakistan 10 rupee Pakistan 5,000 rupee Pakistan 50 rupee
As we can see, when a banknote is detected, it will speak out the banknote name. At this point, the core feature of this app has been completed. If you have a similar idea, you can build on top of this. You can also use this app as a starting point. To make it big, you can incorporate all the countries, and that will be awesome. And that can be your cash earning app. Congratulations, you have completed second augmented reality project in this course. And for your learning, more new unique apps will be coming to this course. Thank you for your time and keep learning.